Hello, can everybody hear me? Okay. So, good morning, everyone. I'm Anamika, HR at Helixon Healthcare Solutions. I would like to thank GUVi for this webinar opportunity to share my experiences in corporate life. And I also thank each one of you for joining today in this webinar. So, let's start. How to succeed in corporate life? Yes, we have completed our school, our graduation, and entering the first major part of our life as an adult, right? To earn ourselves as opposed to be depending on a pocket money from our parents, right? It's the most exciting stage of in our career, right? So we are starting this journey in a place that would form at least one third of our life, right? We are just 20, 21 and starting our stage, and we are going to be working at least till a minimum of 60 years of age. So how do we ensure we are going to be succeeding in it? So we'll discuss what form the building blocks for any successful career. This does not matter which type of an organization you join, which type of an employment you have. These building blocks are common across all types of employment, right from blue collar jobs to white collar jobs, to the highest level of a CEO position you might reach. This these are common across any organization. So I've put together 11 main building blocks that, if followed, will give you a considerable edge over your peers who are just, doing the routine day-to-day activities that is being assigned to them, right? Okay. So the first is networking. I'm sure most of you have heard this time and again, but it cannot be overlooked by any chance, right? So the single most building block will go a long way in helping you in your career. Schoolmates, our neighbors, busmates, our cousins, our college mates, and your professors, right? So these networks are very important. No matter no matter you start a different life altogether and you're not going to be in touch with these people, but it's still very important that you maintain the network from these groups. In this digital age, it has become very easy, right? We have lots and lots of social networks, professional networks, and it is very easy to stay in touch. Not like 30 years back where you don't see them and that is it, you have lost touch with them, right? So always stay in touch, call them once in a while just to say hi. That is what networking is all about, right? It's not like you call them only when you need something. Call them once in a while, probably their birthday or a new year, or just send them a message on a random day saying, hi, how are you, just checking how you're doing. That is the first step and the only step needed to network and maintain a network, right? And when a need arises and you have to reach out to probably your college professor because you need some guidance in your work, you are not seen as a selfish person who's calling them only during a need, so that they also pick up your call because they know that you've been in touch with them. And it's not always a help that you're trying to reach out to them. So stay in touch with people, no matter what work they do. It doesn't matter if they're related to your work, if they are not related to your work, it doesn't matter. Stay in touch with people. You never know how they will turn out to be helpful. So how do we do this, right? Make use of multiple platforms. Online, most of you should know LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn and Twitter are two wonderful professional platforms to connect, not only stay in touch with people you already know, but also connect with people across the world in the area of field you're interested in, and also across other fields, right? LinkedIn has something called influencers. So influencers are people who, you can stay in touch to ensure that you are up to date in your field. You can do a simple LinkedIn search and find out who are these influencers in your particular field. For example, you are into coding and software development. Just enter software development influencers and it'll bring out a lot of people who are experts here, right? They share the latest knowledge in your field, and following them will keep you updated. And use offline platforms, not just online platforms. Use offline platforms. I'm not sure if you have heard of something called meetups. This is a website where like-minded people join and meet together. It is a hit with professionals. It is also available in Tamil Nadu. It is available in Chennai. So go ahead, search for groups that will interest you, and then join them and attend these meetings when it is happening. It is usually on weekends, so you need not worry about missing it out on a weekday. And the third most important point when it comes to networking is focusing on quality versus quantity. So if you're frequently using LinkedIn, you will know what I'm talking about. People are just randomly sending out connections to each and everybody across the world, trying to gain followers as if it is some sort of trophy to achieve. No, that is not necessary. Okay, people are just like my post and connect to everybody who's liking my post, comment in my post, and you can send connection requests to each and everybody in my post. Please don't do that. Okay, nobody is going to judge you based on the number of connections you have in your network, but who you have in your network is what is very important, right? So quality is important and not quantity, right? And uh, the next important point when it comes to networking is also join groups that are not related to your profession. If you're a software developer, you need not necessarily join only software development groups. Also join groups that are related to your hobbies. Probably use your Instagram for this, other social networking sites. Join face group and join uh, the hobby groups. What you're essentially doing is you're training your mind and exercising your brain, and food to varied experiences. That is how the brain works. A brain needs a max varied amount of experience to be efficient. So that is what you are essentially doing. Yes, you can be you're a person who's selling just say healthcare products, but you need not necessarily be in that group alone. You can join a cricket group, you can join a chess group, and then that you're basically, what you're doing is you're not only creating more connections, but you're also exercising your brain. That is very important. And last point is, you know you cannot just be a passive observer. You have to contribute to your meeting. That is what is mentioned here as networking karma, right? So you have to give and take. Professional network is all about give and take. You give something, you take something. You cannot always be on the receiving end, right? Okay, initially you're starting out your career, you do not know much, you're observing. That is perfectly fine. But as and when you gain experience, just keep contributing. That shows to the other person in your network on what is your interest level, what makes us tick, what are our interests and beliefs. These are the things that you're trying to portray to your network. So also be careful on what you're sharing. Don't share emotions, don't share your random opinions. Be careful when you share your thoughts to your network. Okay, your basic, everybody has an online persona, right? So whatever we share brings out our persona. So be neutral, don't get into unnecessary opinions and bickering. Just say your point and stop right there. Okay, so let's move on to the next building block, volunteering, right? So how is volunteering going to help? Right? Managers are constantly wondering, when you join an organization, managers are constantly wondering who would be the right person to do a particular job. When you volunteer, more projects will come to your way. You will never know that you have such so much opportunities in your organization. Your skills will broaden, and also you will get a break from your routine day-to-day job activities, right? You could be doing the same work, writing lines and lines of code on a day-to-day basis. But when you try to volunteer to your manager, you just tell them, yes, I heard, a new project is coming up. Is there something that I can help you with? Just, it need not, they need not necessarily give you immediately, and they will take their own time in deciding whether they want to give you. But just telling them that you are showing interest goes a long way, and the next time when the manager finds a suitable project to you, they're going to be giving it to you. And yes, these are very, very important points to your during your appraisal, right? The question, you should have heard of these ratings, right? First rating, second rating, third rating, last bucket, first bucket, and all these. So the question always to get a first rating is, what else did you do apart from your assigned responsibility? So that will be the single most deciding factor in deciding your rating when it comes to appraisals, right? This is also another form of networking within your organization, as well as outside. You need not necessarily be doing it only within your organization. You can also volunteer outside your organization. These are some statistics that you will see that where employers are seem to be hiring people who go beyond their duty rather than just finishing their assigned duty. And you also get to know your colleagues. Suppose you're doing volunteering for a project in another department, get to know your colleagues in a different situation. You would have just said a hi, or you wouldn't have known that such a person exists. But here you are, again, building your network, you're building stronger bonds, and thereby you're increasing your visibility in the organization. This visibility is something that is essential when you join a large organization. Suppose you're working in a 50 member organization, everybody knows you, right? From the CEO or the managing director, everybody knows you. But that's not the case when you're going to be joining MNCs like TCS or Cognizant, Infosys. You need to get yourself out there so that people know such a person exists. The moment they say your name, people should be able to recollect. Oh, that guy, yeah, he worked on this work. Yeah, I know him. Yeah, he's a very good, a good person. Probably, the next time we have this opportunity, we can assign him. That's how opportunities come to you, and that is how you grow in a large organization. Otherwise, you'll just be another fish in the pond, and you're just doing your duty, getting your paycheck, and you're just existing in the organization. You're not succeeding in your career, right? So it is very important. Okay, so third main important point is making friends, right? All of us need friends, no matter where we work. All of us need friends. So who do you hang out with in your organization? It is, you should have heard about this famous saying, show me your friend, I'll tell you who you are, right? So it is very true in an organization setup as well. Okay, so the moment you join an office, there are going to be a lot of opinions that is going to be flying around. Oh, this is how it is, the work is so boring, that person, you should be careful about this person. This person will help you, that person will not help you. So a lot of opinions are going to be flying around, right? So what I would suggest is, surround yourself with people who are ambitious. Choose one person who in your team, or in your closest team, who seems to be ambitious, who seems to have an answer for everything in your career. They would come out with data points, they will relate to various studies, they will say, this is how you're supposed to approach a solution. Everybody will be breaking their head, but this person will have a solution, and they will be so calm and collected that you will be surprised that you would have never thought that this person is such a brainy person. Right? We would have seen these people. Okay. um, Hello. Yeah, everybody able to hear? Is the network fine now? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, and really sorry I got a call in between. I'm really sorry for the disturbance. Okay. And there'll be people who are, okay, I'm just continuing. Thank you so much. So, and there'll be people who are constantly complaining, the infrastructure is not good, the cafeteria is not good, the restrooms are not clean. There'll be people who are constantly complaining about each and everything in an organization. Avoid these people at any cost. Okay, they might even turn out to be your good buddy. You might be comfortable talking to them, but when they complain, try to change the topic. Okay, because our brain tries to imitate whatever we are hearing on a daily basis, right? If you're going to be constantly hearing complaints, your brain is also going to start complaining. Yeah, I know whatever work I do, it's not, I'm not getting paid, there is waste. All such things and inputs will come to you. But avoid these people at any cost. Try to associate with people who are ambitious. That is what I'm trying to say here, right? Complaining people will drain your energy, and in turn this will reduce your performance, and you will not feel motivated to go to office on a daily basis, and you do not want that, because we are going to be working till 60 years of age. The moment your brain forms an opinion, it is very, very difficult to get rid of it. So look at the person who's highly knowledgeable, who seems to know what they are talking about, and then associate with themselves. Okay. Am I making sense till now? Is everybody able to follow me what I'm saying? Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for that. Right. Please feel free to stop me in between, and if you have any question with a particular point, please feel free to stop and ask me questions. Okay, I'll be more than happy to answer. Even if I don't know the answer, probably after the webinar, I'll try to go back and find an answer and let you know. Okay, I don't want. Please repeat last topic. Okay, you're talking about friends, right? Voice is breaking. Uh, Bhaskar says voice is breaking. How about others? Is that the same for everybody? Okay, I'm really sorry about that. could be better, is it? Okay, I'm really not sure what else I can do. I've connected to my wireless. I've also I'm also sitting near the modem. It's okay. Okay, fine, great. Okay. So Bhaskar asked me to thank you very much. Thank you all. So Bhaskar asked me to repeat the last topic in terms of having friends in your office. So I'll just give a quick recap. Okay. So we are all social beings, right? Human beings are social beings. We need people to be surrounded by them, and you will understand that this better than any time else. We are all in lockdown. The entire world seems to be, have come to a standstill. We are not able to meet people. Yes, we are connecting to them over a phone, over a video call, but still we feel kind of restricted in terms of reaching out to people, right? Because man is a social being. We need people, so we need friends. People, you would have heard people who are well into their career that friends are only from school, only from college, but the moment you go into the corporate life, it's all professional. The moment you quit an organization, they are no longer going to be talking to you, right? So we need friends. Basically, everybody needs friends. What I'm trying to say is choose people who will help you in your career and who will not bring down from your career, right? People who complain, you would have seen such people in your family who's constantly whining about government is not right, bus is not right, road is not right. You would have seen such people everywhere. So when you notice such a person in an organization, stay away from them. Only talk to people who seem to be, knowing, who is knowledgeable in their career. Somebody who is at least a couple of years senior to you in your team, and they seem to know what they are talking about. At least they will try to find an answer whenever a problem arises in a team, in a work. They will try to find a solution. They'll try to tell you, go to this site, go to GitHub, search for these codes, and you will get some answers. Or talk to this person. They will probably guide you to another person in outside your team, but within the same organization. They might tell you, go to this person. This person will have an answer, right? So always be associated with a person who's looking for answers, and you yourself be a person who's looking for answers. When you go to a manager with a problem, you know they are not ready to listen to you. Okay, what? Yes, there is a problem. Okay, how are you going to solve it? But when you go to them with a solution, you might be completely wrong. That is not at all a mistake from your part. But you tell, when you talk to your manager, have a conversation like this. So however you want to address your manager, right? I'm just saying, sir, this seems to be a problem, but I have explored and found a solution. Can I uh, can I do in this way? Am I right? And your manager will tell you, oh yes, you're right, very good, please proceed. Or they're going to be telling you, no, you need to be doing it in a different way. So the next time you go to your manager with your problem, they will know that you're not complaining for the sake of complaining, but you are trying to find answers. These are the people who will succeed in corporate life. Okay. And if you do not know how to do that, that is where I'm saying associate with people, become friends with people who know stuff, right? Who are knowledgeable, who can help you and guide you in that direction. They need not necessarily be in your team, can be outside your team also. Look for people who will support you in your career. Okay, so that is what I was saying. I hope I have made myself clear now. Is that fine? Can we move on? Okay, thank you so much. You cannot need not necessarily call me ma'am. I can call me Anamika. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Okay. So next point is learning, right? Upgrading your skills, right? So when you start your career, I'm assuming most of you have do not have work experience, and even if you have, it's for a very less time of 6 months to 1 year. Assuming that I am giving you this advice, yes, definitely it is an advice, okay, whether you take it or not, but if you take it, it's going to be very helpful for you. Learning, right? Upgrading your skills constantly. When you start your career, spend all the time you have in learning, okay? Learning should be your only aim, not finishing your task, not getting back to home on time, not leaving office at 6 o'clock, but learning should be your only goal. You're starting as a fresher, and you know uh, people will expect you to make mistakes. So make as many mistakes as you can, because making mistakes is how we learn. All of you should have heard about the famous saying from Thomas Alva Edison, right? Uh, oh, I succeeded in making an electric bulb. How did you make it? Because I learned 1,000 times how not to make it, right? So that is what mistakes is all about. So people will expect you to make mistakes, and they will not penalize you, because they know you're only starting out, and mistakes are accepted. Like a very small child, trying to walk for the first time, they're going to be falling 100 times before they're going to be walking, right? Yeah, I will take different questions by the end of the session. Hope that is fine. Could you please give me some time? Questions that are not related to the topic, I'll definitely come at the end of the session. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so don't be carried away by these, work life balance. You're only starting your career, okay? You do not need a work life balance, okay? So you're still independent. You do not have the pressure of financial commitments. You, you know, even if you do, even if you have to, if your family is in such a situation that your job is everything, your salary is everything, even then dedicate all the time you have with you to learn as much as you can in the job. Because the moment your financial commitments, you get married, and no matter if you're a guy or a girl, the moment your financial commitments come and hit you, that is when you need work life balance, not before that. So before that, spend all the time you have in learning. Even if you're spending 12 hours a day in office or outside the office, you need not necessarily be in office. What I'm saying is, spend time in learning, because this is your foundation in your career. So when you have laid a strong foundation to your career, what you have essentially done is, you have moved 2 or 3 steps ahead for your peers. So when these financial commitments come to you and hit your, it's going to hit you, okay? No matter how comfortable you are, the financial commitments is going to hit you. I'm not trying to demotivate you, but please understand, our outlook to corporate life, our day-to-day work activities is going to take a beating when these commitments come. So that is what I'm trying to emphasize. Don't think work life balance, people are making me manager is making me work even after 6 o'clock, even after 9 hours. That is okay. You see it only as a way of laying a strong foundation to you. So tomorrow when you're married and when your family needs you, you have become strong, and you have become so knowledgeable that you can finish your work in 5 minutes instead of the 1 hour you took when you started your career. Probably you took 1 week to complete when you started your career. But since you've learned so much in the starting days, when your family needs you, you can finish your work in 1 hour, right? So that is what I'm trying to say. So learn as much as you want, okay? So this is how learning is, right? Curiosity, be curious. Some of you who would have had small little children to interact with, should know this, right? They're curious about everything. What is this? What is that? Why is the light glowing? Why is why is, how does the fan run? Why is it rotating? And why, when you put on the switch, how does it switch on? From where does the electricity come? So they're curious about everything. So that is how you should start your career. So I've told you, you have to learn a lot. So how do you learn a lot, and what do you learn? So that is what I'm trying to address here. Curiosity is what is important. So how is this application working? Okay, there is a big supply chain management system. How is this application working? From where do the products come in? Where is it getting manufactured? And where is it coming to the organization? How does the system ensure that each product, uh, uh, how does the system know that which product is in which place? Is it in the warehouse? Is it in the with the distributor, or has it reached the customer? How does the system ensure that? What can you do? So be curious, keep asking questions repeatedly, so that you understand where to explore and how to learn. So frame a plan, and triangulation is basically finalizing your plan, and then you are making a decision, and you have new learnings, you make some mistakes, you make new learnings, and then the loop continues. This is what is called a learning loop, and that is how you grow your skills. I just gave an example of a supply chain management, but this is applicable in any learning you take. Okay, be curious, explore, keep asking questions, keep asking questions to the point of where your manager even says, can you please stop asking questions? So that should be the level of questions you should have. So asking question is asking questions to yourself. Okay, so first ask to yourself, go explore in the internet. The internet has answers for almost everything in life, right from doing your coding to taking care of your children. Everything is there in the internet. So go explore, try to find some answers, then go to your managers or the person who you think can be an expert in finding an answer. That is how you learn. Okay, and learn a skill which is in demand and which is rapidly increasing. Okay, so for example, right now we have millions of population, educated youth in India, but how many of them know are skilled enough in data analysis? Data analysis, I'm just taking an example. That is a skill that is in demand, and where we do not have enough supply, right? So choose such a skill in your field, whichever field you're going to be choosing your career in, and try to learn that skill, because the industry, you will see the industry is moving towards that path. So by equipping yourself in the early stages of your career, when a demand rises in your organization, you are the first person they choose, right? So that is what I mean by upgrading your skills, right? If you do not know which skill is in demand, one of my masters gave this tip. Okay, so follow US. Okay, the United States of America is what the Indians follow when it comes to employment. Whatever is in demand there will come to demand in India in 5 or 10 years time. So this is a small tip that I'm sharing with you, because if you see data analysis and artificial intelligence, the way that is being utilized in across industries in the US, this will come into demand in India as well. Okay, we just follow them in various sectors, and there is nothing wrong in it. We are also developing, we are a developing nation. So for India, US is the ambitious person who we follow. Of course, there are also people who follow unnecessary things, but right, what I want you to follow is what we need to helpful in your career. So see what is in demand in US now, and it will become a demand in India in the future, right? Okay, so the next building block is having a career plan, right? So you should have heard this question in interviews over and over again. If you look at, if you browse for what are the regular interview questions, the question will be, where do you see yourself 5 years from now, right? It is not so easy to identify uh, at the stage where you're starting your career to say that, this is what I want. Probably, you can say, oh, okay, I want to, in 5 years time, I want to be leading a team of 5 members and 10 members. That is what his career plan is. But as and when you start working, you might realize that, team leading is not your cup of tea. You don't want to manage people, you want to be an individual contributor, right? So it is very difficult to arrive at a career plan on a single day. Okay. So the first 2 or 3 years of your career, what you have to do is be on step one. You're discovering, right? You're discovering each and every area. And then you start listing what are these areas where you would be interested in. When you have to find your interests, go back to your childhood and see what interests you. What were the hobbies you were doing? Were you doing something creative, or were we doing something routine? So these kind of skills is what will help you in identifying which is the career path that you have to choose. So list down various career paths and then explore. Try to do some little work either within your organization or outside the organization and explore, and try to find do an analysis within yourself whether you are really interested, and then finally decide on a career path and move ahead. Okay. So this is what you need to do. This is for a long term perspective. For a short term perspective, what should you do? Suppose you join an organization, right? And your manager says, go do this work. They'll keep assigning you small chunks of work on a daily basis. Okay. Try to sit with them and understand for the next 1 year how it will be, right? So come up with a clear plan, list down the 1 year plan, go and sit with your manager, and then ask them if it is completely fine. Get a consensus from your manager. Am I thinking in the right path? Okay. This does not assure you of any promotion. This is not going to guarantee you a first rating, but at least the least you know is you're moving in the right direction, right? So you do not want to be doing something assuming this is what my manager wants and this is what I need to get a good rating in my career, but end of the day, when the appraisal happens, your manager is talking something else totally unrelated. Okay. None of us want that to happen. So come up with a 1 year plan, get a consensus with your manager, correct it, and then follow that. Okay. So far, any doubts in whatever we have discussed? Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. So we'll move on to the next building block. Okay. All of us have a personality, right? We are either strong or brave or aggressive or adamant, or, we have different kinds of personalities. But there is one personality that you need to have in order to succeed in your corporate life. I will also relate to this personality in another building block, but for now I'll just tell you what that personality is. Okay. A person of integrity, right? Be the person who can be trusted. Okay. When your manager assigns you a job, you have to complete it. As simple as that. Ask them a deadline. Whenever a task is assigned to you, ask them a deadline. When am I expected to complete this? Okay. Ask them a deadline and follow to that. They might say 2 days. Okay. You have worked on it for 2 days. But you kind of feel, at the end of the 1.5 days, you kind of feel this is not going to get completed. Immediately go back to your manager and say, I'm working on this. I have reached till X. It will take another 1 day for me to reach my deadline. Could you please give me time? Most of the time, anybody, not just your manager, right? This is how human minds work. Okay. When you talk to before the person comes to you and follows up, if you're going to be, proactive and giving them an update on it, that it is not getting ready, people will be more than happy to accept and give you that extra time. Do not wait for them to come and follow up and then say, no, 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 I finished 80% of the work, only 20% is missing. So, you have to give me time. That doesn't sit well with anybody, even you. If you're asking, it can be as simple as, you have given your shirt to ironing for with the, local shop, say, for example, okay, and you have a function to attend, and you have given yourself sufficient buffer. Tomorrow is the function, and today you have given your dress to be ironed, right? And so you're expecting the person to come and give you. So today evening you go to the shop and ask him, and he says, no, 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 I had some emergency, family emergency, I did not finish it, so I would need half a day's time. So now you have given a buffer. So though you will not like the answer that the person is saying, you would perhaps give him time. What if you didn't have a buffer? The function is in the evening, and today morning you're going, and he promised to give you in the morning, and you're asking him, and he says, no, no, it will take time, I'll give you only in the evening. All of us are going to be irritated, right? Now the shopkeeper might not know that you have a function to attend. He has his own needs to be taken care of. So this is a similar situation in any work that we take in our daily life. Okay, we do not know why the manager wants something to be completed by today evening. All we know is it needs to be completed. Probably he has promised with somebody else that it will be submitted, or it is a small part where it needs to be added to a large presentation that needs to be given to a client. We need not always know this. Managers will not always share this with you. All they will tell you is complete this, this is the deadline. That's all the information that you will get. So give yourself enough buffer. Keep updating your manager that if there is a delay, that is all that is required to be a person of integrity. Okay, so I will also relate to this on another point, but for now I'll move on to the next building block. Okay, organization culture. Okay, you should have heard this. Organization culture is what the word, and some of you might know what it is, some of you might not know, but it is as simple as what you would have seen in your daily life. We have different kinds of families, right? Maybe our family is a very straightforward, free to talk, free to talk with anybody. You can talk to your parent, you can oppose them, you can even shout at them, but your parents might not mistake you. That is a culture in your family. And there will be another family, right? Probably your friends, and their parents might be very strict. Kids cannot talk against the parents. They have to listen to whatever is being said to them. So that is that family's culture. Overall, a region as a country might have a culture that is very different, but what it means to be an organization culture is something that you can relate to in a family's culture. How is my family different? How is your family different? And how is your friend's family different? How is your cousin's family different? Each family has their own set of that rules and values that they have to follow. This is what is meant by organization culture, right? And various factors contribute to it that are listed here: workplace, values, leadership, how the leaders behave with people, the technology that they are following, is it outdated or is it the latest one, or what is the motivation level, and what are the different tools that they use. This is what your organization culture is. So why is this an important building block when it comes to succeeding in your career? You cannot change a culture, right? So but why is this important? Okay, so this is just an example of an organization which is very aggressive in nature, right? They are mission driven, they drive for results, they have a transparent approach, information flows across top down and bottom up is very transparent. They collaborate with each other and take accountability for each other. So why is this important? It is important because if you do not adapt to an organization's culture, you will suffer a lot. If you are working in, for example, this kind of an organization culture where they need to be aggressive and they need to collaborate with each other, but you are basically a person who do not collaborate, you are to yourself, you do not take responsibility for the actions that you did, you are going to be a misfit, and people are not going to like you. Your team members will not like you, your managers will not like you, and you will not like going to the organization. So change yourself. You need not change your personality. Personality is different, right? But you need to adapt to a culture. Basically, if you're going to your friend's home, how do you behave? You behave in a very cordial way, right? You in your home you can be all adamant and whining and crying and all that, but if you go to a friend's home, we maintain a composure. So similarly, you are not changing your personality when you go to your friend's home. You're not changing your personality when you join an organization that is not as in tune with your personality, but you're trying to adapt to it because these are implicit rules that every organization has, and it is what makes an organization unique, right? Say for example, TCS, right? What does the outside people talk about TCS? It is a government organization. You get a job, you are settled for life. So that is what the outside people perceive as the organization culture. So what does it tell you? That people need not work, they just need to go and sit there and come back, but they will get paid. Working is not at all important. But if you go to the website of TCS and try to see what their culture is, it will be very, very different. People, they'll say that people are respected here. Learning is very important. Maximum importance is given to your learning, and people take accountability to what job is being given, and people perform work. What does the outside organization see? Nothing gets done in TCS. What does TCS sees as itself? Everything gets done. So that is the difference. Perception is different. What others see is different. What the organization believes is different. So if you're going to be joining TCS and expecting that I need not work at all, you're going to be in for a loss. Okay, fine. So this question is something that comes again and again, right? I work for the organization did not care about me, I was fired, I was not promoted, I was not given a proper hike, right? So all these things you would be hearing. So who should you work for? And there are some people who say, work for your manager, don't work for your organization. Work for your manager because your manager can make or break your career. That is true. That is very true what people are saying, that you need to work for your manager. But more than that, even more important is this: keep calm and work for yourself, right? You work for yourself. You don't work for your organization. You're not working for your manager. You work only for yourself. Um, I see Harshini's waving. Should I stop, Harshini? I'm not sure what this hand means. Harun, can you please help me out? Am I supposed to stop and explain again, or Harshini, do you have a doubt? Okay. Varun, you have doubts. Okay, what is it, Varun? I'll just address Varun's doubt and then continue. Varun, can you please let me know what is your doubt? Are you connected to your audio? Can you please tell me what does your doubt derive for result meaning? What does it mean? Okay, Harun, can you please unmute so that Varun can discuss, share his doubts? No, understand this topic. Work for yourself. So, okay, fine. So you want me to explain again in terms of why we should work for ourselves and not work for the organization. Am I right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, great, fine. Harun, you can mute everybody, so I'll continue. Thank you. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is work for yourself, meaning work to your satisfaction. Don't work to impress your manager. Don't work to impress your organization. Work to impress yourself. That means focus on having incremental growth in your career. Okay, today this is something that I did not get completed, but tomorrow I will complete it. Okay, I do not know this. How will I, who will I reach out to and find out the answer and complete my work? So basically what you're doing is trying to be a better person than you were yesterday. Okay, and you're doing this only to impress yourself. Be happy with what work you have done. Okay, and this will be in tune with what your manager wants. What I'm trying to say is, if your focus is on impressing your manager, there are managers who will be impressed easily. There are managers who will not be impressed even if you move a mountain. So suppose, for example, if you are working for a manager who is not impressed by moving a mountain, right? So then you will get disappointed. What is this? I did such a big task, but I do not even get a pat on a back. I do not even get a thank you. You will get disappointed. But if you work for yourself, I have did a very major task, and this is an achievement for myself, and this is something, an important milestone in my career. I haven't done this, is something that I haven't done before, so I'm happy about it. So you're not waiting for your manager to give you a pat on the back. You're patting yourself. So that is very important, and this will come in handy when the economy is in recession, right? Right now we are in lockdown. Many organizations are taking decisions that the employees do not like. So what if you find yourself in such a situation, and you probably assume, I've been doing everything my manager asked me to do, but so I need not worry about this recession. But suddenly you find yourself in the end of the list that is going to be terminated. You go through a lot of emotions that time. But when you work for yourself, you did not depend on the managers or your organization's uh, ability to keep you on roles, but you're depending on yourself, right? So even if you're going to be terminated, you will be confident about yourself because you did a lot of work, you have gained experience, and it will be easy to put you out in the market again and get another job. Okay, being laid off, being terminated, these are unforeseen circumstances that will come across everybody's career. Almost everybody, 90% of people would have faced this, right? So how do we deal with it emotionally? How do you deal with it emotionally? By not getting emotionally connected with your organization, by not getting emotionally connected with your manager, by not depending upon them emotionally. So because you're only connected with yourself, you will be able to, it's like falling down. You have fall down, you were running so fast, but suddenly you fell down. You are not looking for your manager to pick you up, you're not looking for your organization to pick you up. You don't feel defeated by them. You get up on your own and start running again. This is the emotional disconnect is what I am trying to mean by work for yourself and not for anybody else. So you're doing your manager's work, your work is assigned, whatever coding or whatever sales or whatever activity you've been given, you're doing, but be satisfied with yourself. Don't wait for outside appreciation. That is what I'm trying to mean. Is that fine? Yes, Vanshika. This is related to the topic, or should we do it after just three more topics and we'll be done with everything? Vanshika, if it is related to the topic, please feel free to talk now. Harun, can you please unmute? Vanshika, you messaged something. I'm sorry, I missed seeing that. What is it? At the end, you'll ask. Okay, no problem. Great. Thank you so much. Okay. So next, politics. Again, something that you would have heard again and again and again in your life, right? Office politics. So wherever there are people, there will be politics. There is politics in your home. There is politics in school. There is politics in organizations. There is politics across the country. There is politics in your neighborhood, right? We just don't term use the term politics for something that is happening in our home. Okay, we use a different term what is happening in our home and our school. It is called partiality, right? So it can be your parents, all of us feel, right? People who have siblings, my brother alone is getting all the wonderful treatment, I am not being looked at. It's the same thing that is happening in an organization, but we use a different term called politics. In schools, we should have heard, right? Favorite student for the teacher. Whatever is happening, my teacher will call only this particular student because he happens to be the teacher's favorite student. There we use the term partiality. When it comes to office, we say it is politics because it is happening in a little bit larger scale. In school, being partial to a student might not affect you a large extent, because all of us have the same exam to write. Favorite student is not going to be getting a different question paper. All of us are going to be getting a same question paper, so it's not going to be affecting you in a large extent, but you have seen this happening. So when it comes to an organization, all of us have a different question paper, meaning each of us are assigned different works, right? So what to do with office politics, right? So this is how people are going to be, right? All of them will be smiling at you, but deep inside their mind, they are going to be having different opinions. I know he blocked my project. I heard bad buzz on this guy. So sad. He doesn't fit. Where is the recycling bin? This person needs to be chucked out. And there's another person saying, no blame, he's just not our type. So people are going to be having opinions, and this is how all of us work. You will be having an opinion on your coworker will have an opinion on yourself. Okay, so this is going to happen no matter what. So rather than getting offended by it, know how to identify them. So how do you identify them? Is first expecting people to behave in a different way, seeing people as somebody with full of emotions. Okay, if somebody, your friend, a teammate who has been working with you for the past 1 year, you're having a wonderful relationship, suddenly comes and shouts at you and is blaming you for what is something that went wrong. They're telling your manager, probably, this is the person who made all the mess, I don't know what to do about it. Understand it as an emotional response to a situation. Okay, something happened, they are deeply affected, and that is why they are behaving like that. They might not even tell it in front of you. Okay, they, if you're telling it in front of you, probably you will see it differently. But when you do about you to your manager, that is when you're saying it is politics, right? So it, some situation happened, your team member got affected and they reacted in the same way. Not everybody will be equally matured enough to say, okay, it is only a situation, it is just a one of a thing that happened, I need not get offended by it. If somebody is going to be shouting ourselves, if somebody has complained about us, we are going to be offended, right? So see it as a one off situation. Identify people who are constantly passing on information about others, right? There will be people who are constantly gossiping. What to do with people who don't work and use our existence? There will be people, such people, you cannot do anything. You cannot change another person's behavior, right? This is also related to office politics, right? You cannot change another person's behavior. What you can change is how you react to the situation. So, for these situations, organizations have a well defined plan called documentation. Documentation meaning whatever you are doing, you are capturing it in a formal communication to either your team member or your manager. It is basically a proof and evidence. You would have seen this criminal documentaries or criminal movies where the police is collecting evidences. The evidences are organized in a timely manner. Okay, the crime happened last week, so where was the person 1 hour before that? Where was the person half a day before that? Right? So similarly, in an office, no crime is happening, but you're documenting evidences in various forms, basically emails. You're doing your work, you're going to be communicating it to your manager. Probably, you're helping your team member, and the team member is just exploiting you, using your time and showcasing it as their work. I think that is what one of our friends asked us a question. What do you do in such situation? Do the work, but communicate to your manager that I have completed this work. Do it as a casual way. Okay, these are situations where first you finish the work and mail it to him. Don't go and sit in his computer and do, because there will be no proof. It will be like he has done the work. When you are in such a situation, do it orally. Don't do the work for them. Okay, tell them that this is how you're helping out basically a person. It is okay if they are exploiting you, but it is an experience. You are training your brain, you are giving an exercise to your brain. That is how you should see it. Okay, so do it for the first time, do it for the second time, but keep communicating it to your manager in various occasions, that you have this person was asking this help, I just helped him out. That was very interesting, I find it very good. It helped me gain experience. So you're not actually, you're just telling it in a different way, so your manager knows that you have done the work and not your teammate, and you are not putting your team member in a bad light. Okay, so you are not doing the politics. Your friend might be doing a politics, but you are not doing the politics, because all you're saying is, I had a good experience working it. So implicitly you are communicating to your manager that the actual work was done by you. Is this fine? Is this answer uh, you are able to understand? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so there are going to be people like this. Try to identify people and stay away from them. Ensure that you do not get into politics. Never be involved in politics. And this is the point I wanted to connect back to. in terms of integrity, right? So when you have already established yourself as a person who can be trusted, if somebody, your team member is going to be, complaining about you, your manager will not believe it, because you have already portrayed yourself as a person who can be trusted. Even if they are going to be complaining, your manager will brush it off saying, no, this person will not do it, right? So Anil will not do this. I know him. I have seen his work. He is not a person who will commit this mistake. So that is how you have to handle these situations. Okay. Okay. A lot of you are asking certain questions, and it keeps scrolling very fast. So just two more points we will finish, and we will take questions one by one. Okay. So the 10th building block is blowing your own trumpet. This is what I referred, right? You're casually telling, yeah, Joshua, I'll come to building good relation with manager soon, right? I will take this question at the end of the session. Just two more points and we will go. So the last but one is blowing your own trumpet. So this doesn't mean you're, boasting to everybody around, I did this, I finished this work, I'm great. It's not how you have to do this. It's not how you have to do. You have to blow your own trumpet by means of casual conversations. So your aim is not to tell another person, I did a great job, but your aim is to tell the other person, yes, I know something. I know this work. I am capable of doing. Okay. So your when your goal is like that, though you're blowing your trumpet, it doesn't look like you are only being trying to put down others, and being a selfish person. So that is what I mean by blowing your own trumpet. And another point is, if you are doing extra activities, right? If at the start of the session we saw where you have to volunteer for activities outside the organization, outside your team, so these are activities your manager might not always know that you have done, but you have to let your manager know, okay, I went to this team, they had this work, I helped them out. They have to know this. That is when they will understand that you are not trying to waste your time, because there might not be situations where you're always loaded with work. There might be some situations where you are kind of free, and you utilize this time to finish some other work outside your team. Okay. And if your manager knows this, it gives a good impression, right? That is what I mean by blowing your own trumpet, because most of the time they are the ones who are going to be assigning work from you. And if you're going to be doing other things that is not being assigned by your immediate manager, you have to let your immediate manager know that you are doing this, right? So that is what I mean by blowing your own trumpet. So last point, right? I'm sure most of you should know who these people are, right? Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Jack Ma, Steve Jobs, all famous people have one thing in common. Okay. And that is called a mentor. Okay. Successful people always have a mentor. A mentor need not always be a person who is having the professional capability alone, right? It need not be your manager or your professor or the highest person in your organization. It can be even your mother, even your father, who is there to support you and guide you and provide you some inspiration when you're down. All of us will not have every energy, all the energy in the world to work on a daily basis. There are ups, there are downs, there are some days we will be happy to go to work, there are some days where we just want to don't even get out of the bed. All these things will happen. And there will be situations where you want to go to work, but you do not know how to finish your work. These are situations where your mentor will help. And you do probably, you have explored the career path. We discussed career plan, right? You have listed down 5 options, but do not know which one to finalize and take. I have 5 different career plans. Which one should I take? Do I grow in my career horizontally, or do I grow in my career vertically? What should I do? What is my interest? Where will I excel? These are questions where a mentor will help you, right? So take your time in finding your mentor, at least 2 3 years into your career, 5 years into your career, and that find one person who will always be there to guide you no matter what. So they should also have the time. You might find the person, but what if they do not have the time? Where can you get a correct mentor? Yeah, see, right now even there are sites that are focused on mentoring. Okay, find a mentor. Just go on Google, find a mentor, and there will be people who are ready to mentor from across the world. So it need not necessarily be in your immediate surrounding, in your organization. It can be somebody from from Chennai. You can find out somebody in Australia, and they will be more than willing to mentor you. In LinkedIn, we were talking about professional yeah, particular field. Probably I would not be the right answer to give you an answer, Vanshika. You will have to browse and see. Go to LinkedIn, see who are influencers in AI field, artificial intelligence, and follow them, and then reach out to them, send out a connection. I did this for my, my interest in HR is in analytics, right? So what do I do? First, I follow people who are regularly posting on analytics, and then I write a small mail to them. Okay, this is something that I would like to learn. Can you spend some time? How should I approach? You just send a message to them on LinkedIn, and you will be surprised at the number of responses that you get from people who you have not even spoken to at the first place. Okay, the world is out there. There are lots of people out there. There are lots of people out there who are out there to help you. So go ahead, reach out to these people. Okay, Vanshika, probably we will discuss this later. Data analytics, we'll see how we can do that. So the general idea is reach out to people, professional networks, use LinkedIn, subscribe to magazines, and try to find out where these people are. Okay, don't go with the objective of, okay, you need to be my mentor. That is not how we find a mentor. Okay, you connect with them, you form a relationship, and then when they are open to guide you, that is when you ask them, can you be my mentor? You need not have necessarily just one mentor. You can have multiple mentors. You can have one for your professional work, you can have one for your personal, your emotional side. You can have one for, you can have multiple people for the professional self. Like Vanshika is asking for data analytics. Okay, you can have one for data analytics, you can have one for leadership, you can have one for communication, right? So you can reach out to different people, but what you're essentially doing is trying to find a person who you can depend on, and who will help your career, who will take you with them, along with them in your career life. That is what I mean, right? Okay, so thank you so much, I'm done. So we will take questions one by one. Okay, I guess Anil or somebody had a question. Arun, what does it mean by game? What do you mean by game? Okay. Okay, we'll take one question at a time. So Arun is asking, You're confident in your work and in your technology, and you're updating yourself. Yes, you're doing all the right things. Whether I could overcome this game, politics, right? Yes, we have already discussed this. So I will just recap it. We discussed this in terms of a personality, right? Be a person who can be trusted. So when you are behaving the same way to each and every person in the organization, everybody has the same opinion on you, that you can be trusted. You're not being partial to your team member and then doing everything your manager asks, but you have another person outside who you do not want to work. Okay, you, as far as possible, do not behave in that way, right? So as far as possible, try to be neutral to everybody, so that when politics does happen, you are least affected by it. Politics is going to happen whether you like it or not. Okay, so all you can do is defend yourself and continue to do your work. You cannot stop other people from playing politics. It is going to happen no matter what. Okay, that is my answer, Aro. Okay, so Shivanjali wants to ask, what would you expect from an engineering fresher? Thank you, Arun. So Shivanjali wants to know, what would you expect from an engineering fresher in terms of skills? Okay. See, when it comes to engineering, engineering is a really broad term, right? What we study in our college is totally different to what we do in organizations, right? It's a really broad term, but I'm assuming, since most of you are part of the GUVi network, I'm assuming you're talking about coding, right? As a HR, all I would expect is, the first thing when I interview people, one common attribute that I look for in every candidate is, can this person learn? Okay, has this person, do they have an inclination to learn? Okay, all of us, whatever we know is very little. What we do not know is bigger than the ocean, right? So can you learn? Are you inclined to learn, or are you a person who would do only the job you've been given to? This is the attribute that I look for when I interview a candidate. Would they learn? Okay, are they open to, or do they have an interest towards having a great career? Okay, are they ambitious? These are the attributes that I am trying to find out when I interview a person. Does that answer your question, Shivanjali? Okay, great. Fine. So Srimati says she is not from a CSE background and she is learning. That is enough, right? No, fear is everywhere. I have a decade of experience, and whenever a job is given, I have a fear. Okay, will I do it right? Okay, so it is with everybody. I did an engineering and then I did an MBA and then I took a HR, right? So it is okay if you're not from a CSE background. There are people who are from a mechanical background and who become proficient in coding the moment they learn. All you need is keep learning. Probably a person with a CSE background will will excel in the first month. Probably you will take another month, but this is going to happen only in the first year of your career. After the first year, it is only your experience that matters. Your graduation does not matter at all. It does not matter where what background you're from. You're a mechanical engineer or a civil engineer. After you have gained 1 year of experience, that is all it matters. Srimati, does that answer your question? No problem, Srimati. You are a civil engineer. That does not matter at all. You have chosen a career in coding. I'm assuming you have chosen a career in coding. Learn as much as possible. You have these online courses. You have Udemy. You have Coursera. There are a lot of universities across the world that are providing courses right from beginners to expert level. So utilize all the time you have to take these take these learnings and then perform in your job. Okay, so I'll take questions one by one, please. Okay, so Girish wanted to know what is the biggest lesson that you have learned in the corporate world. So the biggest lesson I would say is not to take things emotionally to heart. Okay, so that will be the major lesson that I would have learned, I would say. Okay, when you take it to heart, it is going to affect you personally, it is going to affect your family, it is going to affect your work. So do not take things that happen in your organization to heart. Yes, we are basically emotion, we are full of emotions, so we will get affected, but overcome it soon. Don't form opinions. If somebody is blaming about you, don't stop talking to them. Go back and talk to them. Have regular conversations. Have talk to them as if nothing happened. Okay, the first time it will be difficult, the second time it will be difficult, the third time you will get slightly used to it, the fourth time it will come to you naturally. Okay, these are people you have to work with. No matter how hurtful they have been to you, you have to go back and work with them, because that is what an organization is. Your parents are shouting at you, do you stop talking to them? No, right? Because why do we continue to talk to them? Because we trust our parents do not mean any harm. Okay, so you need not go to that level of emotional connect when it comes to an organization. All I'm saying is continue to talk to people and don't get emotionally involved. Okay, fine. So, Sayan, please enter your questions so that I can answer. Arun, being expertise in data science and algorithm to excel in coding, I'm really not sure. I do not have this information. I would, I'm not the right person to answer in terms of technical details. However, probably let me see. Harun had already mentioned that you can list the questions. Probably I'll try to get an answer. I'm sorry, we do not have technical answers. Okay, fine. So Cyan, like in starting we are given support projects, should we go with that? Okay, fine. Take up whatever projects you that comes to you initially. Okay, but make take it only as a learning experience. Support project has a very bad rap in terms of the skill level that a person gains. I understand, it is you are working in creating a new product, your learning is going to be totally different rather than working in a support project. But please do not say no to projects when you start your career. Take it up and do, but always be on the lookout for a project where you want to go. Probably support is what you want, you will understand that after working. But if it is not something you want, let your manager know that you are more than happy to take it now, but you would soon want to get into a project that requires hardcore development from scratch. Let your manager know. You will not always get it immediately after letting your manager know. Sometimes it might come to you in 6 months, sometimes it might come to you in 1 year. But if it's not something that you really want, probably you have to look out for options. Okay, but don't have restrictions in terms of I won't do this, I won't do that. You are starting your career, everything is a learning. Support projects is also it's a learning. So do not have too many restrictions when you start your career. That is my answer. Okay, Yadesh, how to overcome or escape the situation when targeted by higher officials to politics? See, politics is something all of us fear, right? Okay, these are not things that has a silver bullet. You know what is a silver bullet? A silver bullet is something that solves all problems. Okay, you just shoot it and everybody dies, right? We do not have such an answer for office politics. If you're targeted by a higher official, again, spoke something called documentation. Documentation is very, very, very essential. So whatever work you're doing, document it and record it in your system. Either you're emailing it or you're entering it as an Excel sheet, or in a document, you are capturing all the information. This will come to you when a person higher official is targeting, right? He probably suddenly, all of a sudden, he says that you have not done anything. You can just casually take up this document and show him that, this is what I have done, tell me what I did not do. It's going to be a surprise for him when you have enough documentation. And if it's going to the level of where you cannot answer to this person, where this person is being very aggressive and being nasty and all that, take it to the HR or take it to the skip level manager. Many organizations have something called a skip level meeting. Even if there is no a formal method where you have a skip level meeting, go to your manager's manager, whoever is the higher official, tell them, go with the documentation. Do not go to a highest person without any documentation. Go with enough documentation saying that these are all things you have done, but this seems to be the case with my manager. How can I handle? Don't complain, okay? Always ask for solution. How can I handle? I am finding it difficult, please help me. That is how you should handle these situations. Okay. Mistakes. Srihari wants to know, when you have did a mistake, what do? Everybody does mistakes, right from start of your career to your, even if you are 30 years of experience, everybody does mistakes. How do you manage is by owning up the mistake and informing your manager and prior on, this is something that I do not know. I will try to do as much as possible to my best, please help me out. So even when something happens, your manager has an idea, okay, he's trying something for the first time, so there are bound to be mistakes. If your manager yells at you, just ignore and go. Okay, end of the day, you learned something. Okay, don't try to uh, change others behavior. You cannot change others behavior. Okay, you only have to change your behavior. Do not react to situations. Okay, so thank you, Krishnaveni. Thank you. You made a decision to update yourself. And Joshua, how to build a good relationship with your manager is all the points we have discussed, right? Keep talking to them frequently, keep updating them of your work, ask them guidance. Anybody, it's basic human behavior. If you ask a person how you're supposed to do something, you are putting them at a higher place than yourself, and people feel good about it, right? So it's basically, you're not, this is not what we generally call in school, ice podranda. No, it's not like that, right? It's making your manager might be genuinely having information, so ask people. When you are stuck, ask them guidance. Have repeated communication with your manager. Don't talk only when it is absolutely necessary. Have casual conversations, have out of the work conversations, about movies, about sports, anything. Okay, that is how you build a relationship with anyone, not necessarily your manager. Okay, fine. The next question. So we are getting a lot of questions. I'm really happy. But Harun, is it okay? Can I continue with the questions? What about the time? There are like a lot of. Okay, fine. I'll continue. Thank you. Okay. So the next question is, what's the first part you observe in resume? The first part I observe in a resume is the clarity of thoughts. So when I mean clarity of thoughts, your resume is like a photo, right? What do you see in a photo? How good is the photo? How is the composition? How is the lighting? How is the colors? These are what you see in photo, right? Your resume is your photo, but it is in words. Instead of picture, it is in words. So I look for clarity in thoughts. Do you know, a resume writing is not something that you can copy paste from Google? Okay, uh, there are separate resume writing services that people will write for you. Naukri has such a service, but It would be a best resume when you write it for yourself. And when you write it for yourself, I mean, sit for 1 day, 2 day, and try to understand yourself, reflect on yourself, on what is that you want in your career, what is that you have achieved. As a fresher, you will have to list down various skills that you have. Probably you took up a project, there was a symposium in your college and you were a volunteer. You need not necessarily drive the entire symposium for the organization, but you would have played a small part. What was your learning? Just list down. Okay, so that shows that this person not only can contribute something to a small event, but they also learned something out of it. You're basically saying, I learned, in conducting the symposium, I learned how to organize the food arrangements for my fellow students. Okay, it is a learning. Organizing work comes everywhere. Whatever work you do, even your day to day life, you are organizing, right? You are getting up, you are brushing your teeth, you are taking a bath, you are getting ready. All these are organized stuff that we do on a daily basis. So when you are applying it to a different situation, it is a learning. Try to bring out that, right? Okay, fine. Thank you, Arun. Thank Sayan wants to know, in the first year in IT industry, we are given rather forced to join a support project. Should we continue? I think we addressed this already. So I'm going to skip that. But if you still have doubts, I would encourage you to reach out to me separately after the session. I'll be more than happy to help you. Okay, Joshua, manager, I think uh, Joshua, we already answered. How do you build a good relationship with manager? Basically, you have frequent conversations, keep updating them of your work, ask them for guidance, and always take feedbacks and work on it. Okay, you are going to tell, sir, you last time you asked me to work on my communication skills. I took this course. I'm trying to learn on a daily basis. Just telling them that you respect their opinion. Just show people respect and have casual conversation. That is all you need to have a good relationship, right? Okay, fine. Confidence while facing interview, Nazar, yes, you will have to practice a lot. Okay, nobody wants to see a person who's stammering. And yes, we do understand. Okay, even I have stammered when I started out my career. Okay, I have stammered out to the point of I do not know, words do not come out of my mouth, right? So it happens to everybody, but practice, 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 practice like 100 times. If you're even nervous, again, practice 1,000 times. That is the only way. You have all these questions. What are the regular questions that are asked in an interview? Go browse, take it and put it on your notepad and write answers for each question. What will you answer? Have 2 lines for each question. So when you're practicing these answers, question and answers again and again, you automatically get confidence. That is the only way to do it. uh, So, like, Arun would like to ask a question. Harun, probably could you please unmute? He would like to ask a question.
Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yes.
First and foremost, thanks for considering my message, ma'am. And your inputs are really awesome, and it was really helpful for me.
Thank you.
Okay, so what is my question is, see, there are two kind of peoples.
Mm,
One is all about, see, some people used to learn something and they want to get into a job and they need to earn to some amount, and they will keep on go in one specific path. I mean, they will be I mean, they don't want to grow in a very big level, and they will be keep on going in a horizontal path.
mm,
But some people, what they love a tech a lot, and they used to keep on update, and I mean, those people are keep on they used to go to a depth. Okay,
mm,
so we have two kind of peoples. So
mm,
what my question is, whether if I want to go in that second category, I mean, what
mm,
I want to go to an next extreme. So if that would be my path, what kind of suggestion would you put across me? Because I don't want to stay and stagnant in one organization and do the same work. I want to keep on updating. I want to explore a lot, and I want
Mm,
to go to a next extent. So if that is my case,
mm.
what kind of attitude, what kind of things I have to carry forward? And one more thing is, if there are some people, what they used to do is, after getting an experience of 7 to 8 years of experience, they will move to management, and they'll move to management. But what I thought is, I don't want to move to management until till my age of 50. I want to be a tech guy. So is moving to a tech industry until the age of 50, is it right way? And instead of not stepping into management, is it a good path?
Okay, so two questions. One is you wanted to know, you wanted to be an ambitious person. So how do what should I do to be an ambitious person and succeed in my career? Second is you want to take the technical path, and is it right? Okay, so I will answer both questions together, right? So now you have kind of made a decision that technical path is what you want to go. Okay, every organization has a technical path and a managerial path, right? So, and in technology, it is very well clearly laid out. It's saying that these are technical works that will have to be done, and these are managerial works that will have to be done, and an organization needs both. Okay, so now you have decided that technical path is what you want to take, and it is a right decision. There is nothing wrong in taking a technical path, or there's nothing wrong in taking a managerial path. It All it matters is what interests you and where you will be able to perform. Okay, that is also important. Suppose you might be interested, I'm just saying an example, okay, just have it as a point, I'm not trying to discourage you. Okay, so you might have an interest in a technical path, but when you start performing, you will probably notice that you are more of a manager and not a technical person. Or the reverse might also happen. You might have taken a managerial path, and you realize that managing people is not you want, and you want to stay on the technology side. There is nothing wrong in choosing any career path. So yes, you can choose a technical path. So how do you go about it, right? So you're starting your career, you have a day-to-day activities, you go to office, stay at 9 hours of work or 12 hours of work. The various points that I have mentioned in terms of upgrading your skills, in terms of networking, in terms of volunteering, are things that you will have to do on a regular basis if you are ambitious, if you need to succeed in your career. Okay, one. Two, you have outside opportunities, you have freelance, right? There are sites that where people have lots of work to be done. So office, you go do this work, and you can look for projects outside your office across the world. Freelance is posting a lot of works that needs to be done, that will also help you gain an experience. You can choose the project, right? So like people are saying, right, I don't want to take a support project. So probably you are given a support project. So what do we do? Take it up and do. Go outside, you know to look for projects in the net. And in the net, there are a lot of people asking for work to be done. Freelance and Upwork are sites where you will gain these opportunities. Okay, you can choose the project where you want to work on. You can choose a development project there and try to work on and deliver. Okay, it might be right, it might be wrong. You are not only going to be paid, but you are gaining an experience. So when you have gained this experience, and you can put see, organizations are please do this carefully, because organizations are skeptical when somebody is doing work outside the office, because it will lead to loss of productivity in your work. Okay, because if you have left office at 6 o'clock, and then spent night till 2 o'clock in freelance, and then you're not able to get up, you're going to be coming to office late. Or you're drained of energy, your mind is drained of energy, you're not able to focus on work. These are not things that will be taken lightly from by an organization. So when you are sharing these information with people, be very careful. You do it for your own experience, but do not jeopardize your career by saying that you are doing an offline work. Okay, but offline work, do it on a Saturday, Sunday when you have a free time. Ensure your main office productivity is not getting affected. It is also illegal to work more than 8 hours outside an organization. You can see the laws. Okay, you cannot take up work that is as same work. It's like working for a competitor, it's like working for two people at once, right? So it's the laws do not support it, and the organizations do not like it. That is one thing. But you can take up small projects, spend some 1 hour 2 hours, that you can do. There is nothing wrong in that. Or you can suppose you are given a support project and you want to explore in data analytics, try to see what kind of projects they have, try to take up training courses, try to take up certifications. So be careful when there are a lot of free courses that is available in, like I already mentioned, Udemy and Coursera. And take up, and you will really understand whether this is where you want to go. Reading those things and exploring things will uh, help you identify, is this the right path I'm taking? That is the answer. Okay, thank you. I hope I answered your question, Arun. uh, Mentor in AI field, I'm really not sure. I will not be able to give you answers with specific fields. You will have to explore and find out. mm, AI data, same questions, right? 1 year plan, what do you mean by 1 year plan? Okay, every 1 year is when our appraisals happen in organizations, right? So when I mean 1 year plan, so you will have to, it is difficult to do when you start as a fresher. You do not know what opportunities are there, you do not know uh, what work will come your way, and it is difficult. But you can have a broad plan in terms of, I will spend 1 week a day in learning, I will spend 5 weeks in office work, but I will spend 1 week a day in terms of learning, and I will learn this specific skill. I will learn data science, I will learn artificial intelligence. That is what I mean by plan, right? It is dividing your weekly or monthly uh, work life into different areas where you will assign your time to. What will you do at this particular time, right? So when you start your work, it is difficult. You try to see many organizations, large organizations will have a clear cut career path. But if it is a small organization, things will come ad hoc, and there is nothing wrong in that. So first 6 months observe, and then try to start and put a plan. Okay, fine. Sure, Varun, you whoever wants to share something separately, probably we could do it offline. Thank you very much. Waiting for more sessions. Thank you so much. That's I'm really glad to hear that, Anil. You can reach out to me through WhatsApp. I will You can take my number from Harun. Mm, thank you so much. Thank you for all the feedback. Please WhatsApp me when you need to, chat with me after the session. Yes, practice. Why politics is related to government and public organization? That was just an analogy that I gave. How to identify a person who just shows that they are supporting us but not actually so? Okay, don't worry about these people, right? So that's the thing that I would say again and again. There are going to be different kinds of people. The only thing is, rather than identifying, don't get emotionally connected. Okay, don't get emotionally connected with people, and because we will get offended, we will get hurt, and it is difficult to come out of hurt. Okay, you never know who's supporting us. Sometimes your manager who's always shouting at you will be the person who's supporting you. You will never know. Sometimes who your friend, a team member who is always with you is the person who is backstabbing you. These are not things that you can identify easily. It will come with experience. There is no one character trait. It's not like, you can have a lens and, see through the lens and find how that person is. These all comes up with experience. Okay. I hope I answered your question, Vanshika. Okay. So the next question, though I've got selected in a couple of startups, I couldn't enter into a big tech company and where I'm getting rejected in HR rounds. Any suggestions to gather skills? Okay. Congratulations that you've got selected in startups. If you want to get selected in big tech organizations and you're being rejected in HR rounds, I would suggest you to recap yourself on what happened during the HR round. What kind of questions were asked and what did you answer? Okay, and see if you could have answered something differently. See, we are all thinking that we do not know, right? But our brain is an excellent organ that we have, and when you ask it repeated questions, it gives you an answer. Okay, so go back and think what question was asked and what you answered, and see from a third person perspective. See, like, you be a HR and ask another person and somebody is giving this answer, will you hire them? That is how you will have to analyze where you went wrong, right? And getting rejected in big tech companies, mostly the first major reason why somebody would get rejected is for communication skills and for the attitude, right? What attitude are you showing during the interview? Are you being a cordial person? Are you being a person who's interested to learn? Or how good is your communication skills? Communication skills is not just English, it's not just grammar. Can you convey your point? Now I did a webinar and all of you are asking questions. Some of you have said it is good, and most of you who felt it's just a waste of time, probably might not, there I have failed. Somewhere I have success, but somewhere I have failed. Somewhere I have to improve myself in terms of how I communicate my points there, right? Yes, I'll share my WhatsApp. Okay, so that is what I you have to focus on in trying to understand why you get rejected. Communication skills and attitude. As a fresher, these are the two major skills that will be looked at by anybody. Otherwise, it will just be as simple as, somebody was better than us. It doesn't mean you were not good. Okay, if somebody was better than us and they selected them. So don't take it to heart and don't think, if you have gotten selected in startups, yes, it is only a short time before you reach out to get succeeded in a big tech company. So you have skills, you already have skills, so don't worry, right? You already have the skills, you just have to polish some more. That's it. Startup or MNC, what do you suggest to a fresher and why? uh, okay, startup or MNC. So I have probably, from my experience, and this completely depends on who you are as a person. Certain people like to work in an MNC, certain people likes to work in an startup. I'll give you the difference in terms of what is there in each situation, and you can decide whether you want to go for a startup or an MNC, right? Startups, you get varied exposure. You are going to be doing things from scratch, and everybody will know you. Visibility will be there, and a lot of new things will come up. And because a startup environment is an environment, it's a turbulent environment, right? So a lot of things are changing on a day-to-day basis. Okay, if you want to be in such an environment and you would like to explore and you would like to learn a lot, that is where you need to be. That doesn't mean this will not happen in an MNC have a lot of organized process. If you're somebody who likes to follow rules, follow policies and procedures, whatever has been laid, and you just want to do that, MNC is where you need to start. Okay, MNCs also will have different kinds of projects. There will be startup kind of projects, there will be routine process. Okay, the project you get into will make or break your, I mean, I wouldn't say break, but it'll make all the difference in your career. Okay, so it depends on you as a person. I cannot tell you every fresher has to take an MNC, every fresher has to take a startup. No, that is not an answer. It depends on you. What do you want? Do you want to explore and have a lot of learning and do it everything by yourself, or you want to be guided by somebody who has already done it? That is how you have to choose. Take whatever options you cut that come to you. You can slowly, you are going to be working for 30, 40 years in your life. So starting point doesn't matter where you are. Take up the first opportunity that you get. That will be my answer. My WhatsApp, yes, I'll share. How to avoid problems that comes within a group. Be neutral to everybody. Don't take sides. um, as far as possible, don't gossip. That what I would say. I'm kind of rushing because it's taking a lot of time. I don't want to be taking a lot of time. Okay, please feel free to reach out to me. Thank you, Vanshika. Voice is not clear in terms of an interview process. Probably, I think there was already a session that was planned in terms of interview questions. Probably, I would suggest we, you know, discuss in detail in that. I will definitely come up with information. Varun, okay, how to introduce interview. Okay, interview. Let's have another session. Okay, that would be. That would be my answer. I have answered few questions, and the interview is a whole big topic in itself, and I would need a lot of time to explain. Okay, and there was already some discussion for another session, so hopefully we'll discuss there. Anything else? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. I will message my number. Please WhatsApp 9789098191. This is my number. I don't know why I'm not able to send, I guess. So thank you all.
Hi all,
Bye.
this is Harun representing GUVi. Thank you, Anamika, for doing a webinar with us. I hope it was very helpful for everyone, especially due to this Corona time. Everybody is stuck at home, and this was very helpful. Thanks, Anamika. Thanks for doing it.
Thank you, Harun, for the opportunity. I please get it from Harun. Harun, you can give my number to whoever wants, and you can WhatsApp me. Thank you. Thank you. Bye, all. Thank you so much. I'm leaving the meeting. Bye. Have a nice day.